Hi and welcome to this channel and to a new episode. And don't we all just love being outdoors, hiking and enjoying the evenings in camp, sitting in front of the campfire or talking to friends or just enjoying the silence. And don't we all equally hate the mosquitoes, destroying our evenings and disturbing the peace, so that we have to flee into our tents much earlier than what we really want. So if it is mosquito season or if you're hiking in a mosquito-rich environment, it can be good to bring a mosquito repellent. And the king of them all is the Thermacell. Well, now there's one that could be lighter, smarter and possibly also better than Thermacell, the Light Repel from FLEXTAIL. The Thermacell has been out now for a long time and I've used it at home sitting on the porch and also out camping with my RV, but also out hiking. And it is a little bit controversial due to the substance used, D-alethrin, and that is probably why they during 2022 have changed to prelethrin. And what I understand, it is a little bit less harmful. The big downside of the Thermacell for hiking is the size and the weight. You have to bring the equipment itself, but then you also have to bring butane to heat the pads up and also those small blue pads that contains the repellent itself. One of these gas tubes will last for 12 hours and one of these pads will last for 4 hours. So 3 pads for 1 gas, and the total weight of this equipment and for 12 hours of mosquito-free evenings is 185 grams. Not too bad really when I think about it. Anyways, if 185 grams scares you off and if 42 grams sounds like a better option for you, the Light Repel. Yes, I was sent this little mosquito repellent for free to use and to review. But my review is unbiased, so what I say to you will always be my honest opinion. So if it is a good product or a bad one, I will always let you know. Now, these two products are very much alike, but with one big difference. So let's go through the specs, look into the features and compare these two contenders. The Light Repel is 98 mm high, 48 mm wide and 28 mm thick and weigh in at 42 grams and has an IPX4 rating. The Light Repel has room for 2 pads for a 360-degree protection and a 200% better efficiency compared to Thermacell. Their words, not mine. The Light Repel uses electricity to heat up the pads, but it has no built-in battery. Instead, you plug it into your power bank. It has then 2 modes, outdoor mode shown with a red light and camping mode that is defined with a green light. In outdoor mode, the output is 4 watts and in camp mode 2.2 watts, so a fully charged 10,000 mAh battery will be sufficient for about 8 hours in outdoor mode and 16 hours in camping mode. If we now look into the features and the 2 modes, the outer modes give a big area of protection and covers 30 feet and are intended to be used while hiking. And you can easily attach it to your backpack with the included carabiner. And that also works as a table stand. The camping mode, on the other hand, has only about 10 feet of protection, so it is mainly intended to be used in camp. It takes about 30 seconds to 1 minute for the pads to heat up and to start releasing that repellent and to give you that good protection. But just like Thermacell, only as long as there is no wind. If we look at the contenders, first we have to admit that they are very much alike. Both use the same repellent and are therefore open to debate whether they are good for nature or not, especially water-living organisms, other insects, other than mosquitoes, that is. So there is still a lot of warning signs on the packages, so I recommend you to read them closely and decide for yourself if you want to use them or not. They also both give you a large protected area, and Thermacell they claim 20 square meters, while the Light Repel offers you 2 options. Either you have a 10 feet protection in the camping mode, and that converted to square meters is about 7.3, or if you instead use the outdoor mode, it will give you 30 feet of protection, converted to square meters, that is about 65.7. That is a large area of course, but probably necessary if you use it while hiking due to the speed and the wind. Now, I can't say if those numbers are correct, and that goes for both Thermacell and Light Repel, defining if it gives you like 20 or 65 square meters of protection is difficult. When we are talking about the differences, it is mainly one thing, and that is how they heat up the pads. One using butane like in a lighter, and the other one using electricity from a power bank. One Thermacell butane container weighs in at 30 grams and will give you 12 hours of protection. The Light Repel with a 10,000 milliamp power bank will give you 8 hours or 16 hours of protection depending on the mode you choose. The total weight for the Thermacell with the butane and 3 pads is 185 grams, while the Light Repel, a battery and pads weigh in at 229 grams if you use an Anchor 10,000 milliamp power bank. If you instead calculate the weight per hour protected, the Thermacell weighs in at 15.4 grams per hour and the Light Repel at 14 grams and 28 grams, depending on the mode. The Thermacell you can buy like everywhere, and the same goes for the pads and the gas. The price for the MR300 is about 349 Swedish crowns, and that includes butane bottle and 3 pads. A refill pack for 48 hours of protection costs 249 Swedish crowns. The Light Repel, on the other hand, you can only order from online. And at the moment it is only available on Indiegogo and at $35, so the exact same price as the Thermacell. If you want to add some pads as well, you get 60 pads for $19, but they are also available on a lot of other places, so just search a little bit on Google. The Thermacell and the Light Repel are very much similar in weight if you calculate to bring a dedicated power bank to the Light Repel. And they both use the same repellent, prelethrin, so they are both very effective. The Light Repel itself is smaller and therefore easier to bring and has a bigger area of protection. Or smaller if one chooses to save battery in the camping mode. But the big benefit as I see it is that you can bring the Light Repel only and not with a dedicated power bank. Then you just use the power bank that you normally bring anyways, with the only downside that this will use up a little bit of battery that you maybe need for other gear. If I were to choose between these two, well, they are both good, so it all depends. If I know I will use it because I will hike in a forest and I know there will be a lot of mosquitoes, well then I would bring the Thermacell, because it is a dedicated standalone product that will not use up my power bank. If I go on a hike and if I'm not sure if there will be mosquitoes or not, well then as a backup, if it turns really bad one night or during hiking, I can then decide to use it or not. So then a 42 grams Light Repel will not weigh me down if I end up not using it. So what do you think about these two, the Thermacell or the Light Repel? Which one is the better choice and why? Please give us your opinion down in the comments. But for now, this is it, and if you liked today's episode, take a look at these 2 recommendations on my other videos. Also do hit like, subscribe and turn on the notifications so you don't miss out on any future content. I hope to see you again next week. Now safe hiking and bye bye.